What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to bring you a more in-depth review of the exterior of our 2020 Subaru Outback. This is a limited XT trim, and the 2020 Outbacks are completely redesigned, so I thought I would give a more in-depth review and impressions of the actual exterior of it. Probably do the interior and a couple other videos after this. I've done videos on kind of our general impressions, first review, first 1,000 miles, and just our general overall review. But this is going to mainly focus on the exterior of the vehicle, which is a mixed bag probably for most people. Has a ton of good, a little bit of bad. So we will get into that and go over basically the whole exterior of the car and kind of my thoughts about it. It has about 4,500 miles on it now, so I kind of have a general idea of what I like and don't like about it. So that being said, let's jump in, let's pull it out of the garage so we can get a little better lighting and get this thing going. So this is the general exterior of the vehicle. I'm gonna start at the front and work my way back. This is the magnetic gray, which is a color that I actually like in this. I would have preferred the blue, but there wasn't a whole lot in stock with COVID going on, so this is what I actually went with. And taking a look here at the front and just the general side, it actually doesn't look all that much different than last year's model. A little bit more body cladding and a little bit more aggressive look, mainly with, I think, the roof racks the roof rails are a little bit bigger, and then the headlights just seem like they're a little bit more aggressive than previously. So looking at the front, it looks like a car. It literally looks like a Legacy or any type of general sedan until you start looking underneath, and then you see that it has a massive amount of ground clearance, 8.7 inches. So the front of the vehicle, again, looks like a general sedan. It's not very attractive from the front. It's really when you get to the side where you start enjoying it. So you have the Subaru logo here. This is their larger logo, larger than what you would get on like a WRX or one of their Crosstreks or a smaller one. Same thing as the Ascent, you have that there. Sorry that it's a little bit dirty, but that kind of stuff happens. And then if we come here and look around at the headlights, these are your steering responsive headlights. So LED headlights, LED running lights. Same thing with down here with the fog lights. These are LED. As you can see, these are more in a up and down pattern versus were like a round cylinder. Like that. And then you have here where you can actually take this off, and basically what that happens is when you take that off, you can actually put a tow thing on there and you could actually tow the vehicle, or if you get stuck, you can pull it out from that. So again, tons of body cladding here, which you can see. It kind of looks like it has a little chin on it or a beard. You do have this gray down here. This is just on, or I guess it would be more silver. This is just on the limited trims. You do not get that on the premium, so keep that in mind. But the front, again, looks like the Legacy. I don't really see a whole lot of difference in that. Good ground clearance, though. We'll mention that. See if I can get you some shots from underneath. You can easily get to the oil pan, so you can change the oil fairly easy on this. You would not have to jack this thing up at all. Looking here at the tires, very tiny tires. These are 225 60 18s, so they are not all that wide, which is a little disappointing to me, but I like to do a little more spirited driving. With the large 2.4 liter turbo engine, it actually warrants driving a little faster than what this thing can actually allow. So looking here at the side, again, you have more body cladding. You will see that basically around the whole entire vehicle. You have it on the bottom here. And here's your actual rims. Now these are hit or miss for me. I'll go over them on the other side where the sun's a little bit better. It does have Yokohama Avid GT tires on it, which is excellent. These are very good tires, good all-around tires for all season. Probably not the best snow tires if you want dedicated snow tires, but overall they're very good tires. You have your springs there. This does have a decent amount of sound dampening. If you can see that through here, let's see if I can turn the ISO up here, but it does have a decent amount of sound dampening in here on both sides. So you do not hear a whole lot of sound. Very quiet cabin. So now looking at the side here, if you look here at the mirror, you will actually have your actual turn signal here. So you do see the turn there. You have some chrome accents here. I'm not a fan of the chrome accents, and honestly, the turn signal is actually pretty cool. It's only on the limited and up trims, I believe. So take a look at it at the dealership and see what you think before you make your purchase. But I think it's a nice feature, same as the WRX, or the STI has the same implement there. And then you have chrome going all the way up, all the way down the side that you see there. Pretty large windshield, I will mention that. Compared to our Ascent, it does feel like a little bit taller windshield, which kind of makes sense. It's more of a car versus an SUV. Well, more of a crossover more than an SUV. You do have your eyesight here, which is nice. It does block a little bit of your view at the top, but you get to look around that. You don't notice it all that much. Windshield wipers, there's nothing really to say there. Standard windshield wipers. And that's really it. When you look at the side of it, that is when I really think that you start getting into the more aggressive nature of it. If you put some different rims on this and maybe a little bit wider tires, or put some snow tires on it, or all-terrain tires, it could really stand out as being a really good-looking, aggressive vehicle. So again, bottom, tons of body cladding there, which you can see, which is nice. And then you got your Outback logo here. You do have a little bit of built-in mud flaps, which you can see right there. You also have them on the back. You can get more beefier ones than that. But if we go back around to the front, you can see that there's some mud flaps there, which is a nice touch. I'm not sure if that comes on all the models. It looks like they could be taken off fairly easily, but it did come on this limited trim. Back to the mirror, I know we already discussed this, but they do fold in. So if you want to fold them in, they can do that, which is nice if you're in a tight area and you need to fold them in so you can squeeze it into a spot. Doors, very large. They do have a good opening radius too. I'm not going to get to the interior of this, but they do have a very, very good opening radius. So if you have any, may help if I unlocked it. So if you have any children or, hauling a family around, they almost open at a 90-degree angle. And they do have these little toe things here. This is a safety thing, so it makes it a little bit more rigid, especially if you're in a wreck. So this is more something you see on high-end vehicles, BMW, Volvo, things like that. And more chrome. See, the chrome goes over the whole side. You do get some tinting here on the back windows, so you do not get any on the front, but you get some on the back, which is nice as we have a newborn, so it is something that we like. Now, looking at the top, this is where I really think that this thing stands out. You got these nice beefy roof rails, which is nice, and your actual roof racks are built in, so you don't need to buy any extras. So you could actually buy a bike rack, or if you wanted to haul a kayak, as long as you got the right accessories to add that on there, you do not need to buy the crossbars for that. They are already built in to the vehicle, which is nice. They've been doing that for a long time. I kind of wish they would do that on their other vehicles, like their Outback and Ascent, or not their Outback, their Forester and Ascent. That would be nice. Looking at the top here, you have your standard fin for your antenna. Not much different than what you see on other vehicles. You also have your sunroof up here, not a panoramic sunroof. I would have preferred to have that. Same thing as in the Forester, but you do get a nice sunroof here. Again, not very big, but that's kind of how it goes. And sorry if I'm sniffling, it is freezing. It's like 40-some degrees here in Ohio today. So if you look here at the back, this is, again, another very good angle of it. You get these nice LED headlights. They are a little bit fogged in, or a little bit darker, so that I actually like over the other type of generally non-dark taillights. I like that. Makes it look a little bit more aggressive. If you look here at the back, you got the same similar design as the front. Tons of body cladding. This stuff will get scratched up. See if I can get you a picture here, but I do have some scratches on it already, and this thing's still basically brand new. You do have your toe spot here, so if you get stuck, there's actually a little screw thing in underneath where the tire's at, spare tire, and you can just put that in there. So you do have some lights down here also. But your turn signals, Same claw shape, again, LED. I really like the design of it. It's hit or miss, but it seems like everyone's going to these kind of claw style. If you look at like the Honda CR-V, it's the same way. So looking at the back, you have your logo here, your Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive over here, and then have your Outback and your XT logo there. You also have a light up here, and this actually is automatic. I know this is probably part of the interior, but it is automatic and opens a decent amount. So you do have a good wide variety there. You have a handle up here also, which we'll get into more of the interior. But looking at the back, it's very nice looking. I do like that it has this accent down here, the silver accent, which is, again, is only on the limited trim and up. And then if we look underneath, this is where it shines. Tons of ground clearance. 8.7 inches. This is what this thing's made for. Is a little bit of off-roading and basically an all-around vehicle. If you live in, the Northwest or the Northeast, where you may be doing a little bit of on the trails, or you haven't live in a snowy atmosphere, this would be an excellent option for you. So looking at here at the other side, this is where I'm going to get into the rims here. Oh, gas cap. Basically, you just press on it and it opens. When the car is locked, this will actually lock, so you don't have to worry about someone being able to get into it. Standard gas cap. I wish it had what the Honda CR-V has, where it's just there's no gas cap at all. It just has it all built in, which is nice. So looking at the rims, these are not my most favorite rims of all the vehicles out there. I actually prefer the limited rims on the Forester. The ones they have on there I think are pretty nice. These are okay. Again, Yokohama Avid GT tires, very good tires. If you look at the reviews on these are really, really good tires. Looking at the rear here, you do have some sound dampening here. It's probably hard to see without me cranking the ISO up, but you do have a decent amount of sound dampening there. Independent rear suspension, but you guys probably already know that. There's not very many vehicles that aren't doing that anymore. So looking at this side, again, very similar to the other one. Again, look at ground clearance. That's really why you're buying this, is mainly for the ground clearance, all-wheel drive, and the practicality. But that's really it for the exterior. It is, again, if you put this against a 2019 Outback, it's going to look very similar. It's actually hard to distinguish the differences. How I usually notice it is from the front lights, and then from the fog lights you can definitely tell. In the roof rails are a little bit more beefier than you would see on the older ones. So that's it. Again, the front, not very good. I wish it had a scoop on it. I really do. Just kind of like how the WRX is. They used to make an Outback with a scoop on it because it does have an intercooler actually in there, so it would probably actually help it in the long run if it actually had that. You could get it a little cooler in there than generally feeds air in through there. But that's really it, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. Paint's held up pretty well. I do have a scratch here on the door side, which I will try to see if I can even find it. But I do have a scratch. Oh, there it is. Probably can't see it, but there is actually a scratch right there. So you will scratch this paint fairly easily. And this body cladding, this plastic down here, you will scratch that fairly easily too. So keep that in mind. But again, you're probably not buying this vehicle to baby it. And you can see I already have some scratches there. And honestly, I don't even know where these came from, but I do have those throughout the vehicle. And it's still brand new. It only has a little over 4,000 miles on it. So that's it, guys. I am done out here because my hands are frozen. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. If you like videos like this, feel free to like it. It will help the channel out a little bit. And that's it. Hope you guys have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys next time.